welcome to this short sequence that's ideal for anyone who is sat behind a desk for long periods of time, or equally if you're sat in the car, anywhere where we're kind of being pulled into this direction. Okay, so just before we start, we're going to need a few little things. So I've got a yoga belt here. If you don't have one of these, you can use a tie or a dressing gown belt. I've got a yoga mat, obviously, and I'm also sat on a little yoga block, but you could sit on a cushion to begin with, okay? Just make sure that you feel comfortable. So if you do find yourself in this kind of slump posture, you'll probably notice that you get, there's a lot of tightness here in the muscles, a lot of tension around the neck, the head's being pulled forward, so the weight of the head is kind of creating tension around the sort of mid-upper back and the shoulders. Also, we can equally get quite tight in the hip flexors here. We're going to do a little bit where we're kind of trying to activate the muscles around the back of the body and then release the muscles around the front. We'll do some stretching around the neck and the shoulders, and also just a little bit of core, because the tummy muscles when we're sat for long periods of time aren't being recruited, so we kind of get this slouch position and these muscles are switched off. Okay, so we're going to start off sat in a comfortable seated position. If cross-legged isn't comfortable, try sitting on a block, or you could just bring your legs out in that position. And a lot of what we're starting with around releasing tension through the neck and shoulders, you can sit in a chair to do that as well. Okay. Alright, so and just bring the hands now down to rest, palms up or palms down, and feel your kind of natural posture, your natural sort of seated stance. So be quite truthful with yourself here. Notice if you do tend to kind of pull forward, if the weight of the head does come forward. And we can just make a few little changes to help with our kind of general posture. And that is a little lift here where you just feel the collarbones kind of lift and rise. And you'll already feel that there's a bit more space here around the rib cage, the diaphragm. We're kind of getting a bit more length through the belly. And then if you draw the shoulders back, doesn't have to be a big movement, but just again where you feel that the shoulder blades are just slightly coming towards each other, and there's a bit more of a kind of open feeling across the chest. And then with the head, if your head is slightly pulled forward, some people are quite tight in the muscles at the back of the neck, so the head is kind of lifted a little bit there. So we just want to bring the chin quite level. Imagine someone's attached a rope to the top of the head and they're just beginning to lift you from there, so you feel a bit of length around the back of the neck. And then either close the eyes or just find something to cast your gaze upon in front of you, and take a deep breath in. And see if you can feel that breath expand more around where the diaphragm is, the rib cage, the lower ribs. And then softly exhale out, nose or mouth. And again, deep breath in. So we're shifting that focus from just breathing around the chest to breathing a little bit lower down, and all this space that you've created where you can get the breath in. And then exhale all the way out. And just one more deep breath in. We'll go in through the nose for 1, 2, 3. Just have a little pause there. And then breathe back out the nose for 3, 2, and 1. Take a really big deep breath in. Again, we'll get the breath into these lower parts of the lungs, the rib cage. See if you can expand a little bit more. And then exhale all the way out. Okay, and just from that I already feel a lot kind of more alert, a lot better. If you do suffer with kind of tummy problems, think about if you are, in that position and you're not breathing properly, this can affect our digestion as well. So everything starts to work better just from creating a little bit more length in our posture, in our seat, and also being able to breathe fully and deeply. Okay, so we're going to start with a few little neck stretches. So just bring the shoulders, roll them up, back and down. Okay, and then just allow the head to come over towards the right hand side, creating space in that opposite side of the neck. Tuck your chin slightly, and then we're going to use the hand just to help the head come over. You can maybe just drop this hand down by the side, keeping the shoulders and that. So watching the shoulder hasn't kind of rolled forward there. I want to keep the head of the shoulder back. Deep breaths. And just a light pressure with this hand that's on the side of the head to create a bit more space on the side of the neck. Okay, now let your hand go more towards the back of the head, so you'll feel that little ridge, occipital ridge, and we want to just bring, so you're looking down towards the right thigh or right hip. So you're coming over more at an angle now. And if you just kind of angle this one way or the other, you usually find, you know, that little sort of tight spot where you're holding all your tension. Watch you don't hold the breath when you're in a place where it is a little bit more intense. We tend to kind of hold our breath when we're concentrating or when things become a little bit stronger, so stronger sensations, and make sure you are breathing deeply. Okay, and then slowly release. And again, we'll roll the shoulders out. Okay, opposite side, just allowing the head to come over, hand just below the, or onto the ear there. And using that to bring the head over to that side. Deep breath. Okay, and then take the hand more towards the back of the head, just where you feel that ridge, and then looking down now towards the opposite hip, towards the left hip. And again, just finding that place. If I just turn my chin slightly to the right, for me that's where there's a lot of tension there. I can feel that going right down, almost to where the muscles are connecting into the shoulder blade, but you know, we're all different, so feel free just to move a little bit and find that little sort of tight spot. Okay, and then slowly release, and again, just roll the shoulders out. Okay, now I'm going to come off my block. You can stay on your cushion or block, just see how you feel. Give the legs a little bit of a shake out in front. And then cross the legs again where you've got your right leg crossed in front of your left. Now just walk the feet over so you're a bit more snug in this, so your ankles are a bit more under your knees, toes draw back. Bring the hands forward from there. Breathe in, just lift and lengthen out of the lower back, and then as you exhale, edge your way forward. So you're just feeling a bit of a stretch across the back of the hips. You can always sway a little bit side to side here. Okay, and then come a little bit further down, drawing the toes back towards the knees. So feet are in that dorsiflexion. Okay, now just pick up the chest and walk the hands over towards the right. You're going to draw that right hand back and see if you can walk the left hand a little bit further forward. I'm on my fingertips there. Now I'm going to look down and then just turn the gaze to look under. So I'm looking under this left arm. Now see if you can really focus on reaching that left hip back and down just to get that nice big stretch there through the left side of the hip. Okay, now keeping this right hand where it is, draw the tummy in, and then inhale and take this left arm back, just to bring it back behind so you can open into the chest. Now you're going to turn more to the side, so the arm is coming over and it's more in line with your ear. Just let the weight of the head come over and soften that supporting arm. See if you can bend the elbow and come right down, doesn't matter if not, but you're aiming to take this nice deep side stretch. Now get all the breath into here, this side of the ribcage that's nice and open, pressing down through that left hip. Okay, and then we're going to come back up. Now just bring the opposite leg in front, and then we'll walk the hands forward again. Breathe in, lift and lengthen the spinal column, and then exhale, coming down, drawing the toes back towards the knees. Okay, and then again, just as you lift, draw the tummy in, and then start to walk the hands over to the other side, over to the left, bringing that left hand back, walk the right hand forward, breathe in, lift the chest, exhale, turn a bit more towards this left thigh, left knee, maybe taking that gaze under the right arm. then keeping that left hand down, again, navel to spine. Inhale, and sweeping my arm back. Extend through the fingertips, and then we'll exhale, come over towards the side, lateral stretch. Pressing down through the right hip, softening into that left arm, elbow. Okay, and then inhale to come back up, again lifting from the lower belly. Just let your hands go behind you, find your fingers. We're going to interlace them and just allow the arms to lift away from the lower back. So maybe bend the elbows slightly first, draw the shoulder blades down, and then we lift the arms up. And drawing the shoulder blades towards each other, and getting that nice release. Going down the tops of the arms, across the chest. Okay, and then release from there. And again, just roll the shoulders out. Okay, we're going to come forward now up onto the hands and knees. So come off your cushion or block if you're still on that. Onto the hands and knees. Just let yourself go forward and back a few times. Just a little bit of movement. Fingers spread nice and wide on the hands. Knees are hip distance apart. And then just go side to side. So you're going outer wrist to outer wrist. Okay, and then make a more of a kind of circular movement. So you can get the head involved. You can go at your own kind of rhythm, speed. Maybe going quite slow is quite nice because you can usually feel these little sort of pockets of tension. Make sure you change direction part way through. It doesn't hurt to hold anywhere where you feel there's a little bit more tension. Okay, now staying on the hands and knees, breathe in. As you exhale, tuck the bottom of the spine and drop your chin and try and lift from the tummy, so we really squeeze the belly in as you round the spinal column. Okay, now inhale, come back to more of a neutral position and then feel like you're trying to drag the hands towards the feet and just take the chin a little way from the chest. You don't have to throw the head back, just a little lift there. And then again, exhale and round. One more, inhale. Drawing the shoulder blades down the back. So a little bit of an extension there. And then exhale. Okay, now go about halfway again between those movements. You've got more of a neutral pelvis. Inhale, take your right arm up. We're going to thread the arm under the left. You can come onto a block here for the head to rest onto something, or just let your head come down. So you're looking towards the left. I'm going to walk that left hand forward. At the same time, I'm swinging this left hip back. So if it's come out to the side a little bit, just think about drawing it back. If you feel a bit unstable, you can cross at the ankles here. So crossing one ankle over the other. And feeling that nice big stretch around the right shoulder blade. So breathing into that area, into that space. Okay, and then slowly release, come back up onto the hands and knees, swap into the side, inhale the left arm up, and then we'll exhale, bring it through. Look into the opposite side to the right, crossing at the ankles if you feel a bit unstable, walk the right hand forward and swing the right hip back. Okay, and then come back up on to the hands and knees from here. Now from the hands and knees, start to turn your hands so your fingers are facing the long side of the mat. Keep the fingers spread wide and just rocking side to side. Now either stay there or see if you can turn the hands around more so that the fingers are actually facing you. Quite a deep stretch around the wrists. Either hold here and just coming into that stretch, or we can just bring the hips back towards the heels. See if you can keep the palm down. We don't want to kind of overstretch and strain here. You might find that one side is much tighter than the other. So that gentle rocking forwards and back. Okay, and then just releasing, bringing the hands forward, give them a little bit of a shake. Now one hand at a time, Right palm faces up, the fingers are towards me, and I'm just going to do little circles around. And again, just take it easy. If you get any kind of sharp sensations, back off. You can always just hold there, but you will find there's little bits of tension there around the back of the hand. Opening again around the wrist. Give that hand a shake, and then the other side. Okay, and then give that hand a shake. Now, have the hands slightly forward, fingers spread wide, and the fingers are facing forward. So your little finger is on the side, alongside of the mat, against that. Knees are hip distance apart, tuck your toes. Go a little forward tilt in the pelvis, not too much, but just where you feel that you're reaching the sit bones up, and then squeeze the belly in. Breathe in. As you exhale, your toes are tucked. You're going to come off the knees, and then lift the pelvis up really high. Big breath in again. Then exhale, press the legs back, heels down. So think about lengthening around the back of the body and engaging. So we want to draw the heels down to release the tension around the backs of the legs, but then we're engaging and lifting the quadriceps. Draw the belly in. Feel like you're trying to bring the forearms towards each other. Looking back, deep breaths here, downward facing dog. Again, see if you can get that breath deeply into the body. Feel it around the rib cage. 2 more breaths. And last one. Okay, the end of the exhale. Look forward. I'm going to step your right foot forward. Give it either a big step to get there or a few little steps. Come onto your left knee, and then you can always walk the right foot forward if you need to. That foot is framed by, or the hands are framing the foot. Just gently rocking side to side. If you need padding under your knee, fold your mat over on this left side. Okay, now deep breath in, lift the chest and just lean into the front of this left thigh. So you're really pressing into the right heel. Okay, now press a bit more into that right heel, and then inhale, reach the arms up. Now draw the tummy in, make sure you've got a more neutral pelvis there, so a lift of the lower belly, tailbone points down, don't tuck under, but it's pointing down. As you exhale, palms face forward, draw the shoulder blades down the back, elbows back a little bit just to open the chest. Inhale, come back up, and exhale. One more. Keep pressing quite firmly into that right heel. Okay, now come forward and bring the elbows together, palms and elbows together, and tuck your chin slightly. Tuck under a little bit there with the tailbone. Okay, now inhale, reach the arms back up. You're going to circle the arms behind you, and we're going to bring the hands down and see if we can just open up the back of this leg by taking that right leg straight. Doesn't matter if there's a little bend in the knee. And if anything, you want to feel like you're dragging that right heel back so that you don't kind of push too much into the knee joint, especially if you're quite mobile. Okay, draw the right toes back towards that knee. Okay, and then release. I'm going to bring that foot down, or knee down should I say. Take the knees a bit wider than the hips and come down into child's pose, head between the arms. Okay, and then lift the chest, come forward now, lowering down, hands under the shoulders, head down, breathe in, press the front of the pelvis into the floor. As you exhale, lift the head, lift the arms and chest. If you want to bring the legs up as well, but keep that where you feel you're engaging around the back of the body, so you're switching on the hamstrings, feet are apart, tuck the tailbone, feel a little squeeze around your bum. Okay, and then bring the hands down, come back up. From here, lift up into downward facing dog. Breathing in and out. Okay, and we're going to take a step forward now with the opposite foot. Left foot comes forward, come onto the right knee. And again, if you just need to walk that foot forward, and let it come forward so both hands are framing it. Rocking side to side. Okay, now press into your left heel. Inhale from here, reaching the arms up. As you exhale, you're going to draw the shoulder blades down the back, so palms facing forward. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And then 1 more. Okay, now come forward again. Little tuck of the tailbone. Bring the elbows, hands together. Tuck your chin. Round the upper back. Okay, and then breathe in. Reach the arms up. Circle them back. And we'll have a go at taking this left leg straight. Bringing the hands down. Toes back towards that knee. Maybe go a little bit closer. Keep drawing the toes back. Navel to spine. Feel that you're trying to, again, bring that pelvis forward slightly. So reach the sitting bones back. Feel like you're dragging that left heel back. Okay, and then come back onto the knees. From here, come straight forward, lowering down. Take the hands behind you, palms face up. Inhale from here, lift the forehead, lift the chest. Keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. So want to keep that neck nice and long. Lift the legs if you'd like to. Navel to spine. Feel like length as well as height here. Okay, and then bringing the hands down. Come up onto your hands and knees, and then lift up into downward facing dog. Nice big deep breath in. Exhale all the air out. Okay, now look to the hands, bring your feet up, come down to sit, and we're going to come onto our backs from here. So you'll need this belt or whatever you've managed to find around the house. Come onto your back, have the belt on the right hand side. Either keep your left foot stood or you can take that leg to straight. And we're going to bring the right knee and give it a little hug in towards the chest. So the left leg is straight, maybe point the toes down. Big breath in, press the right shin into the hands, and then exhale, hug this knee in towards you. Okay, now we're going to stretch this leg up first, just catching hold of the back of the thigh. You can have a little bend in the knee there if you need to, and point and flex. Maybe do little circles around, and the other way. Okay, we're going to take the band now, and you're going to bring the band towards the heel. So go more into that heel bone there, the yoga belt, and then cross at the front of the shin, so you're nice and stable. Big breath in here. Make sure you feel you're pointing the tailbone down, so you've got that little natural curve in your lower back. And as you exhale, press the heel up, and just see if you can encourage this leg to come a little bit closer. It doesn't have to be a really big stretch, just to where you feel it. Most of us are quite tight here around the back of the knee joint, so see if you can just ease your way gently into there. Again, don't strain. Keep the shoulders relaxed while you've got the belt here, so you don't have to kind of overreach. And as you breathe out, also draw the belly in. Okay, nearly there. Nice big stretch around the back of the leg. Excuse me. Okay, now release that belt. Give the knee a little hug in. And then we'll take that to the other side. So again, right foot stood or leg straight. Bring the belt over to the left. Hug this left knee in. Now take a deep breath in. Point the right toes down if the leg is straight. Press your left shin into your hands. And then exhale, hug the knee in. And then we'll take the hands to the back and just do that pointing and flexing. Few circles around. And the other way. Okay, and then we're going to bring this yoga belt to the heel. Cross at the front, nice and stable. Again, point the tailbone down so you've got a little curve in the lower back. Breathe in. And then exhale. Again, just encouraging this leg to come in. Press the heel up. You might find you're a bit tighter on this side. again, drawing navel to spine as you breathe out. Okay, and then release. Now from there, we're going to we'll hug that knee back in, and then we're going to bring the feet to stand. Have the hands down by the sides. Take a nice big breath in. As you exhale, feel that you're trying to pull the front of the rib cage in towards the body and just look between that little gap between the knees. So try not to pull from the head and neck. That lift as you breathe out, you're pulling the belly in and you're trying to lift from these front ribs. Inhale back down. Exhale. Squeezing the belly in, lift up through the pelvic floor. Okay, just 2 more. If you do find it hurts the neck, you can always bring the hands behind, but it might be then that you're pulling too much from the neck and we need to try and get into these muscles at the front of the body a bit more. 1 more. Okay, and then come back down. Now bring the right knee back in and give it a hug in and extend the left leg, but don't have it on the floor so it's hovered there, away from the floor. Inhale, as you exhale, we're going to lift and then switch. So we're switching, one leg, hugging it in, keeping that lift from the front of the body. Keep going. And we're going to go 5, 4, see if you can lift a bit higher, shoulder blades off the floor, 3, 2, and 1. Come back down. Bring the knees in, have a little hug, rocking side to side. Okay, now keep hold of that right leg again. The left leg is away from the floor. Deep breath in from here, and as you exhale, we're going to lift up. Now you're going to take your arms over towards the right. So you're going past that right leg. I've interlaced all the fingers apart from the index finger and thumb. And I'm going to pulse for 1, 2, 3. Come back through centre. You're switching the leg so we can hug that left knee and lift. And then pulse for 1, 2, 3. Keep going. So try and move now more from the waist. And 1, 2, 3. Breathe in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Keep going. One more on each side. Last one. Big breath into the centre. Exhale, go into the waist. 1, 2, 3. Bring the knees in. Give them a little hug in. Rocking side to side. The last thing you're going to do now, have your feet stood down. Hip distance apart. See if you can just brush the back of your own heels there, so they're relatively close towards the hands and the hands by the sides. Now broaden the shoulder blades, pelvis in neutral. Inhale. As you exhale, lift up the hips. When you get to your full range, just a little tuck under. So feel like you're tucking the bottom of the spine under to get this nice big stretch across the front of the pelvis. Really press down through the heels. You're feeling some engagement into the hamstrings and the back of the hips, the glutes. You could stay there or you could reach the arms up or over the head. Make sure the rib cage doesn't flare, so keep pulling the belly in. Press into those feet. Lift up through the pelvis, get that stretch in the thighs, front of the hips. Okay, big breath in. Exhale, bring the arms down. And then bring the pelvis all the way back down. Take a nice, big, deep inhale as the pelvis touches. And then exhale all the way out. Okay, bring the knees in, give them a little hug in. If you want to stay here and just take a relaxation, either with the knees slightly bent or stretch the legs out, it might feel quite nice just to spend a few minutes here, maybe put some music on, a blanket on if you want. And just relax for a moment. You can always turn off the video, or we're going to come over to one side, come all the way over. Let's bring yourself up again, drawing the tummy in as you lift so you get used to using those tummy muscles. Come up to a comfortable seated position. Okay, bring the hands together, take a really big deep breath in, exhale all the air out. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Namaste.